What is happening?
Hello, Fatso. Hey, what the hell is that? You think that's fucking funny? Carl, did you put everybody up to this? I bet you did. What the hell is going on? Now you know how it feels.
What is happening?
Are we supposed to be in on this?
I don't know. It's Cartman laughing at a little person. You should cut that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think that might how we start our show. Let's go.
This is Chris Hansen.
This is TJ Hushmanzada.
Chad doing Rip City Radio here.
This is Jamie Hudson.
And I need to let y'all know something. You're listening to...
And you're listening to...
It just makes sense.
This just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Woo! Way better than Chris
Yeah,
Hansen.
seriously.
Some people do this for the love of the game. I think that we just do this so that we can drink on weekdays.
Every day is a day of reckoning? What? Because of a 30-yard pass for a first down, Gus? And he looks me up and down. And he goes, "You're hella vaccinated up, aren't you?"
You know what else is rude? Both of you talking about how you went through a fat phase, and I don't know when I'm going to get out of it.
We're 30 years into this.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not applying myself, huh?
The show about conspiracy theories made by former lovers.
They make you want to scream. It just makes sense.
It makes me want to scream, fix your audio. You're on episode 95. Get a mixer.
That's a teaser for season 3. That's the energy we're bringing.
Sportsmanship is way overrated. Winning is what's rated.
Should definitely cut that.
You should cut that. The shame.
The shame.
The horror. Oh, gosh.
I didn't start that, so.
You should cut it because you started it. He's like,
something like that.
Yeah.
So take my... Almost.
I'll stop the wedding. I'm like, hold on. Let me regroup.
Oh, man.
You know what you sounded like, though, Braxton, was what Mitchell had sent us the other day. Mr. Trombone Champ. Have you guys checked that out?
I've never...
I played it. It was hilarious.
I don't think I watched that.
You didn't watch it? Okay.
I did. Before he explained what it was, I thought it's a game. I thought it was him playing it, and he was fucking up, and that's what was cracking me up so much.
That was
I thought he was.
Mitch.
I thought he was playing a game, and he was messing up the whole time.
Yeah,
and that's what made it so funny.
It is the game that is sweeping the internet. It's called Trombone Champ, and Braxton, I guess, for the first time. We did think Mitch sent this. We thought this was Mitch, which made it funnier. It's still pretty funny. But let me know what you think about Trombone Champ.
Should I play it on my phone?
I got it.
It's so much funnier thinking he was playing it.
I love all the little comments they give.
Here it comes again. I'm so sorry to everyone that we just did that to.
Yeah, that was something.
That was one of the best.
And why was that like me?
Why was that like you? Oh, you just did like this little blubbering sound.
The vaudeville.
You're a blubber.
Blubbering sound.
Rude.
Sorry that I called it like that.
That was
rude.
Peter.
Oh, I'm like warm. I'm hot now. Whew. That was a good laugh.
That was great.
It's way better if that's somebody we know playing it.
Yes, we should try
stick
at
to
some
that.
point. We'll post our results on @officialijms. Welcome to It Just Makes Sense, presented by Boneyard Beer.
You know what that reminds me of? The American Pie or American Wedding or American Pie 2.
It was like the second or third one, right?
When he
doesn't know how
pretended to be
play.
Jimmy.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
The only American Pie I've seen is American Pie Band Camp.
That was it. No, those are different people. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not even a real one.
I know. Well, my parents wouldn't let me watch it.
1 and 2 are the best ones.
Never
Yeah, I
seen
mean,
them.
I always watched it in secret. A lot of stuff I had to watch in the secrets of.
That one I never got around to.
Yeah.
But
Never
you
the
probab-
American Pie.
But you
so.
probably...
But I get it.
Yeah.
I get
You
it.
Had
probably
to be
went
there.
behind their back and watched like R-rated movies. You
Yeah.
never got around to American Pie.
No.
Right. So, what else were you not allowed to watch? Because I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, we've talked about this before on
Have
here.
we?
Yeah.
On here we have? Okay,
Yeah.
Simpsons and Power Rangers.
Have you seen Van Wilder?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. But that we have also talked about this on here. That's about Bert Kreischer.
Oh. Yeah.
Anything? Any new topics?
Any new topics? Season 3, episode.
This is it. We're officially running out of
4.
shit.
Oh
5.
man! I mean, I have some things I want to talk to you guys about.
Is it sports related, or are we still doing the non-sports stuff?
It's not sports related.
Okay. Well, do you want a little music bed to go under your story?
I mean, sure.
Let's test it out and see how it goes.
Play the Can't Help Falling in Love.
Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce.
Okay, I can do this.
To get that
Is this a
honey
Popeyes
sauce
commercial?
on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Taste the biscuit.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness
fuck is this?
of the biscuit.
I don't know. I think we've became a parody music
Taste the
podcast.
butter
It's
spread.
Billie Eilish.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Butter spread.
All right, tell your story. What do we got here?
No, I was just gonna say earlier this week, I went and saw the one, the only, Michael Bublé.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a little different than Taste the Biscuit here.
It is a little bit different, and I tell you what, I highly recommend it to anybody who can go and see him because it was quite the show.
But he didn't do Le'Veon Rules.
He did not do La Vie en Rose, but that's okay. That's okay. It was still a wonderful performance. Unfortunately, my fiance could not join me.
I know, and you asked if I could go, and
I asked both of you, and you turned me down.
No.
I was so upset.
He never asked me.
That's a lie.
He probably asked you first.
No,
That's
he
a
never
lie.
asked me at all.
I asked you.
He said he wouldn't be comfortable going with me because it's a Bublé concert.
Right. Too many white people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh. But no, I went with Jordan, friend of the pod, former guest, maybe future guest.
Future guest. Yeah, sure.
Former listener.
I mean,
He's a fucking traitor.
you think?
Yeah.
He doesn't even know how our show ends.
He recalled. He recalled a
But
couple.
we asked him, what do we say at the end of every show?
Oh, and he didn't know.
Nope.
Oh, man.
The fucking liar.
He's probably like everyone else. As soon as they get to sports, they go, nah. Nah. We want the oldies and goodies of shows that we weren't able to watch when we were kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what really pulls them
His
in.
sports taste buds probably way superior than ours.
Yeah.
So he just couldn't stand to
And
listen to it.
thankfully, there's no rats at Providence Park.
Yeah.
So you
But
went to Bubble.
Yeah, and it was great. It was a wonderful time. And then on Wednesday, we had a surprise birthday party for a good friend, Riley. Shout out, Riley. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Riley.
And that was wonderful.
I was there. Where were you?
Yeah, where were you?
Here. Yeah.
Riley's
I
very
know.
That's not a good
disappointed.
look.
in
Very
you.
disappointed.
That's not a good look. But
Sorry, Riley.
no, it was a great time. He was very surprised and thankful. But it was kind of funny. His girlfriend, there's this Italian restaurant that he's been talking about for months that he wants to go to.
Olive Garden.
No. But I forget what it's called. DeCarli. And she told him that they had a reservation to DeCarli
Oh, no.
on that night. So he wouldn't
So
have
he's so excited about it.
And so he literally like called ahead because he knew somebody who worked there and wanted them to know that he was coming.
Oh no, she went too deep on the lie.
And he told me once we got to the party, he was like, dude, I've literally been not eating all day to like save myself for this
I was
meal.
saving myself for DeCarly.
So he showed up to the bar. They were just supposed to like get a couple drinks and head to their reservation.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's a surprise party. He's like, okay, I'm starving. Let me get some bar food.
Yeah. Okay. So, but when he calls DeCarly and he says he's showing up.
No. So he had reached out to there's this couple who goes to Jimmy's, and one of the guy works at DeCarly's.
Okay.
So he was friends with the wife on Facebook. So he reached out to her.
Gotcha.
And was like, hey, tell your husband I'm going to be at DeCarly's tonight.
Okay.
And she said, oh, he's off tonight. Sorry. So it ended up not being a big thing.
Right, because he could have like spoiled his own
Yes.
surprise. Like the jig would have been up right away.
Yes.
But man, he was fucking starving. And people just kept feeding him shots.
Yeah.
And at some point, I was like, you should eat something.
Yeah.
Was he getting the fireball shots like Eric was trying to force feed me?
No, I don't know. He was getting a lot of shots from different people.
It's like, who does fireball shots, Eric?
I
Goodness.
think he was just trying to razz you. But Eric,
me?
yeah. Eric thinks
With
he's
twisted
above you.
iced tea? Oh, come on now.
Yeah, he
we all
does.
know that's a lie.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll have to.
I'm not even saying that we all know he didn't say that. I'm saying we all know that's a lie. So sorry, Eric.
Oh goodness gracious! But no, it was a great time, and then we all got together on Saturday for the Ducks game at Jimmy's with the whole crew.
Yes.
Just about. Mitch was on baby duty, but
Yeah.
Saran made an
Saran in
entrance.
the wild. Yeah,
that was
pretty great.
awesome.
Yeah.
There's a whole group of Oregon frat boys, unfortunately.
What was that about? I mean, like, you know,
They weren't even real fancy. They
It
left at
only
half.
happened in the first possession too, because like the game starts and then like first down, the Ducks stop them maybe for a short gain or like maybe a bit of a sack. I don't know what it was, and they were just like, yeah, like it's 14 minutes and 46 seconds to go, dude. Like.
But then it
It's
stopped.
and then it stopped, right?
And they
yeah.
left at halftime. When
And
they were
left
up,
at
like,
halftime. They're not even real
31-7.
fans.
I mean, they just really appreciated that stop. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
honestly thankful
the
that
enthusiasm did not carry, and I'm glad that it did.
I'm thankful that that's where it ended, because you know any fan going overboard is never a fun thing, especially when you're actually trying to watch the game.
Exactly.
Which no one was. So.
Yeah, totally.
You know, when it comes to actually like watching a game and having the support of, you know, significant others and everything like that, there was this video that I came across that I was like, we all are paired with our perfect complements, the women that we have chosen to, you know, be with and, you know, hope spend the rest of our lives with, all of that. There is this one woman, though, who we have not come across, and I'm pretty thankful for it, because she would not fit well in this group. Here she is.
I don't know how some of you girls do it, because I could never date a guy who's into football. Like, there's watching football, and then there's guys that are into football. They have bets placed. They have fantasy leagues placed. They're watching every single game, Monday, Thursday, Sunday. From the beginning to the end, it's like 24 hours of football a week. I could never. And those guys know every single stat. They know where the players went to college. They know where they even went to high school, what like ranking they were in high school. They know everything, and it's weird. I just would never be able to be a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife of a football boy. Can you imagine having to throw like football parties every single weekend and just have 15 boys in your living room watching hours of football, screaming at the TV? And I don't even hate football. I'll watch football, but not like that. Mm-mm.
I feel attacked, and I feel like she's very wrong. Totally wrong.
My question is, when did you get an opportunity to interview Ashley to play that video?
But I mean, like, Ashley,
Do you
like,
think her opinion
is she
is
like
that strong?
It's
No,
not.
obviously
like that.
not.
Because she enjoys being at these types of events. Like, she might
She
not
loves
necessarily
me more
be-
than she hates football.
Well, and also, I think the more exposed she is to like football culture, I think she's kind of embracing it a little bit.
And she's been asking me questions. She's
and
like, what does this mean?
Yeah, and like half of being into football is like being outside, being with your friends, eating food cooked over open flame, and drinking alcohol.
Yes.
That's half of being into football.
Right. I mean, like, we didn't just sit and watch a game for 4.5 hours, 3.5 hours.
We
Come on now.
pattied.
We pattied.
What
You beat me in
patties?
you
What kind
beat
of
me in
patties?
pool, which I don't think I ever bought you a shot for.
Oh, no.
Shot for what?
I think that there was a shot bet or something like
No,
that.
I'll be honest, P. I put like three drinks on your tab.
Oh, really?
That gets dangerous at Jimmy's.
I will say that after 3, though, I was like, okay, that's enough.
Oh, come on.
Because Eric never cashed in for his.
God, okay.
So that was 2 drinks. So I only took 1 extra.
You only took advantage of me for 1 extra.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come on.
sorry.
See, that's a danger at Jimmy's. Tim will always side with Braxton.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they trust me no matter
Well,
what.
like, I was having, like, old fashions and everything, and I was asking him to make it in a fancy way, so I just thought that he was, like, upcharging me or whatever. But so that's why.
I mean, he might have been. I know when Tim's one of the best bartenders out there, but when it's just him and it starts to get a bit easy at night, he'll give you that look, that kind of cocked eye. Like, if this drink takes me longer than 30 seconds to make, then
I'm not in it.
Get the hell out.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I felt attacked by this woman. I also feel like she misses the point of why.
Well, and
football
here's my
exists.
thing. I would assume that this young lady has something in her life that she truly and genuinely loves and is really, really into. I think that most people have their thing that, that's their thing. They're really into it. They may know more about it than other people because that's their thing and that's what brings them joy or whatever. It's like, we've chosen football or sports or getting together to watch sports. Like, it's not that crazy. Don't be so selfish.
Yeah. And speaking of, you getting married, and a lot of marriage talk early on in the pod, especially with all that.
Yeah, where's that from?
Not quite sure, but I'm going to continue it on with Mike Leach. Impromptu marriage advice to the sideline reporter after this weekend's Mississippi State.
Unsolicited advice? Mike
Actually,
Leach
not
just-
unsolicited.
Okay.
She asked him about it. Here you go.
I know you have strong thoughts on weddings. I'm in the middle of planning one right now. Do you have any advice for me?
Who are you marrying?
His name is Trevor.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll have to just set up a meeting and I'll talk to him. Okay, so where's Trevor from?
He's from Florida.
What does Trevor do for a living?
He works in sports as well, covers football.
He does what?
He covers football as well.
Really? Well, I don't know. We'll keep a close eye on it, but whatever you and Trevor decide, I would kind of keep it on the down low, which you failed to do that. Trevor was probably planning to, but you didn't. So go ahead and don't say anything else about it, but as soon as the season's over, or even an off week, go elope. Trust me on that. Go elope. Because basically every female in the family is going to terrorize you guys until it's over. Once it's over, I mean, they'll be upset for a few days, but it'll be over. And then, you cruise along, have a happy marriage, have a happy life.
I'll pass along the message. Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Trevor, unless he's crazy, is totally on my side. And trust me on this. If Trevor doesn't have the sense to do that, tell him to call me, because, I mean, he needs to do. I've told all my kids, I'll give you $10,000 extra if you elope. So far, they haven't done it, but I would, too.
I'll have him call you for sure.
Hey, Hank, go away, please.
Hank, on your bed.
We can't have you in the shot,
Look,
Hank.
come here,
We
come
just can't have you in the shot. No, we can't. No, don't. Oh, gosh. Hank is now sat down. You're not supposed to be in the shot, Hank. It ruins the lighting.
I also think it's funny that he just knows that
that's his spot.
That's
and he also knows.
Does he normally plop down there when we're not doing this?
No, he just very much wants to be near me, and he's an attention whore, so he's just right here in the shot. Would you mind trying to lure him?
Not at all.
It's not going to go very well.
I will
He's
say,
generally a good listener until he knows that you want him to move.
Give him a treat.
I will say, though, is it just me, or does Mike Leach sound like he always has, like, a little bit of milk?
A peanut right there in the
milk little bit of milk stuck in his throat. He's got like milk throat.
Yeah, milk throat, a little peanut, something that's just...
Do the milk throat.
I mean, just play the clip again.
No, you do it.
Oh, no, that was not milk
Yeah,
throat.
that's not milk throat.
That sound has happened other places.
That sounded like a bukkake throat.
Hanky, up. Here we go, Hank. Up. Out of the shot. Out of the shot. There you go. Go anywhere else.
You don't have to finger his butthole.
Just picking him up.
Yeah.
Full support on the rear end.
Oh,
Yeah,
he'll
nothing wrong.
be right back.
Stay there. Please, for the love of God, stay there. So anyways, Braxton, Mike Leach is willing to give you an extra $10,000 to go and elope. That's what it sounded like.
I mean, send me the check, brother.
Send me a little invoice.
Yeah. Mike Leach doesn't give checks. He'll give it to you in cash.
I mean, yeah, I'll take it.
Give it to you in quarters.
I mean, I think we would absolutely consider it. So, thank you.
There it is.
We would absolutely consider eloping if we had $10,000 extra dollars, because that would be a good chunk of change.
Nice, a nice way to get you to your cruise. That would be nice. Yeah.
My cruise, Italian cruise. Let's be specific, okay?
Are you actually? You're doing Italian now? Is what you're thinking? I mean, you're thinking about going on a cruise. That's not like
but
private
the cruise
knowledge.
isn't honeymoon. That's just a trip.
That's just for fun.
Yeah. Miguel, what's going on with you?
Let's all find this out together. Yeah, what are you doing this week?
Well, I'm staying up as late as possible tonight because I don't have to get up for work tomorrow.
Should we patty?
We can patty.
Let's
How many
patty.
patties you want? 80-20s?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's kind of patties I get.
Oh.
Meat patties.
I was talking about a patty.
A patty.
We can patty. I don't have to get up early.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're preparing. Okay, we're going to get back to him in a second.
Yeah.
But I want to hear your Philadelphia.
Yeah, fuck you.
I want to hear your Philadelphia accent that you've been working on.
Oh, man, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, you're so good at impressions. That's what you said.
I didn't say that. I said I've been working on it.
No, you have said
you
you're
have
very
said
good
in
at
the past
accents.
that you're very good
I'm
at accents.
decent. Am I not?
Am
I not?
No one's disagreeing with you. I'm just saying you've bragged about it, so now you got to.
But I also said I'm working on it. I'm being honest with you. I don't know if it's good.
We'll try it on
Well, let's
for,
just
for all of our YouTube
let's just
subscribers.
pretend you're ordering a cheesesteak at Pat's.
Yeah, say you're going
And you're
to
trying to
Pat's.
be a local.
Well-
You're wearing a Phillies or a Eagles jersey, and you're about to order.
This is too much pressure.
I know, he's put it on the spot.
I have to really get into character here. Let's see. All right, we're down in Delco here, walking over to Gino's, gonna get a whiz-wit, heading over to the link afterwards. The Eagles got the Cowboys tonight. It's gonna be a good one.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
See,
we'll
I'm
ask.
working
We'll
on
poll
it.
the audience there.
I heard
I'm working on
whacking.
What? I like Whizwit. Where did Whizwit come from?
That's how you order
that's how
it
you
at
order
Pat's
it.
and Gino's. It's a whiz with onions.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whiz with, whiz without.
See,
Right, sure.
I've been working on it. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Everybody, all my
body language
Delco
is good.
folks out there.
Okay, so
Whiz wit.
all right, so we'll come back on that. Miguel, you are
You
traveling.
ain't coming on my back.
I am going to British Columbia tomorrow, to Vancouver, BC. Crossing the border to Canada for the first time.
Yeah, there's a
driving.
There's a 6-hour time difference there.
It's about a 5.5 hour drive. Hey,
That's a great Canadian.
it's about a 5.5 hour drive.
About
A.
Oh,
Well, 5.5 hours. A. About.
great.
Sorry.
That's
all I'm going to say over and over.
Sorry.
They're going to fucking hate me.
They might.
Yeah.
How much poutine are you gonna eat?
I mean, I'll try it at least once. I'm not like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either.
You don't like cheese curds?
Not a huge. I love gravy. I don't really
dabble in the
love cheese curds. I don't hate them, but I don't love them.
For some reason, fried cheese curds I have no problem with, but just normal cheese curds, I have a harder time
It's
with.
not for me. I'm more looking forward to just all the Asian restaurants that are there. The big Chinese population.
Would you say that's what you're looking forward to most, or is there anything like? Do you guys have any like activities planned?
No,
or you just kind of laying low?
I'm looking forward. Usually, when we go on vacations, we leave Mookie at daycare, so I'm looking forward to having Mookie with us and going to dog-friendly spots and having him around, around the people. And he gets to be with us.
Little Morky on the town.
Little Morky going around Canada. Just his bark will sound different. It'd be like, oh,
hey.
If you're petting him, he'd be like, hey. If he doesn't like you, he'd be like, oh.
That sure sounds like him.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
You've been to Canada before?
He's been practicing.
You done the
Have
Canada?
I been? I've never been to Canada.
Well, I mean, be kind to my people.
You're not Canadian.
I'm half Canadian.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're very white. That doesn't make you half Canadian.
You're from Utah. You're Mormon. You're not
father
Canadian.
Was born in Canada. That side of the family is Canadian. I'm 50% Canadian.
One of my ex-girlfriends thought that all albinos came from Canada.
Yeah. Let me guess.
Yeah. You mean to tell me that not all albinos are Canadian?
We haven't had
It was like a legit thing, too. I'm not even messing with you.
Cece is a massive part of this podcast.
I know. We haven't had her on in a while.
Yeah. We'll make the call.
This is our way of having her on, mentioning her.
Yeah. That was our CC moment.
Brought to you by Scrimmage. Sure
Scrimmage has been sending me nonstop emails reminding me to collect our cash, and I don't know how to do it.
Awesome.
It says go to the app and collect your Scrimmage cash.
Have them put it under.
I mean, there's probably $9 in there.
Meet you in Canada. Have them put it in a garbage bag. Have them put it under a bench, park bench, preferably.
Under a park in Surrey.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Is this man from Canada who runs Scrimmage?
I don't think.
I don't
so.
make the rules here.
Okay.
I don't make the rules.
Jeez.
Sounds like they'll go to Canada just to make the exchange.
Yeah. I mean, they should be willing to. I'm sure it's a hefty amount of cash.
Right. It'll seem like more because obviously the Canadian rate is a little bit.
Aren't Canadians known to be like uberly nice people?
Yeah, most of them.
I guess.
Like overly nice.
Yeah, I mean that's a stereotype that you hear is that they're very, very nice.
So if I come across a rude person, then it'll be a shock.
I mean, there's rude people everywhere. I think that you're going to just find a surplus of nice people.
Well, I love surpluses of nice people.
You do? When's the last time you ran into one?
A surplus of nice people?
Mm-hmm.
Beaverton, 2016.
16.
Great year.
Right in front of Kohl's.
Great year for
Kohl's.
Beaverton.
Yeah, because usually when people walk out of Kohl's, they're just happier.
Yeah.
They got their Kohl's cash for when they come back in 2 weeks. Yeah, they earned a bunch of Kohl's bucks.
They found an air fryer for $19 or something like that.
Oh, they got a deal. Everybody gets a deal when they're walking out of Kohl's.
It's like it's like the scene in Step Brothers where Will Ferrell got toilet paper for the first time and he just does like a nice fist pump.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see when I see people walk out of Kohl's.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not making this shit up.
Good. I'm glad. It would anger me deeply if you were.
Do you think Kohl's is better than JCPenney, which doesn't exist anymore?
Well, JCPenney very much exists.
Macy's. I mean, Macy's and JCPenney are on its way out.
Right. Yeah. I am
Are you
surprised.
thinking of Mervin's?
No, I know Mervin's been dead.
Yeah, no, but there are a number of stores that you're kind of surprised are still around. Kohl's is kind of one of those. For me, anyways. Like, you go into a Rite Aid, and, like, half of a Rite Aid is closed. Bed Bath & Beyonds are going to be gone.
Another
RIP.
surprising one is there's still Bi-MARTs.
Yeah, and
There's still a few
Burlington
Bi-MARTs out there.
Bi-MART has locked down the, like, 45 and up male demographic. Like, Jara's dad, for instance, goes to Bi-MART
P1 at Bi-MART
before anything. Like,
For what? For whatever?
Everything?
Everything. Guns, ammunition, camping gear, outdoor stuff. They have everything. A little bit of everything.
What's the flat top situation?
Oh, they've got it. And
Got it
it's
all.
cheaper than what you got it for. I guarantee it.
But see, I get that, though. If you're getting camping gear or, like, fucking lawn chairs or whatever, you know you're going to get gouged at, like a Cabela's or REI.
Sure.
But
yeah.
you'll get the same shit at Bi-MART probably for a quarter of the cost.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Bi-MART.
You're talking about price gouging. I'm going to like wrap myself out on this, which was when we had our trip to Bend last month and we took Brody out for hikes and everything. I got him this really nice, expensive backpack that he could like hang, just be kind of on, like I could lug him around in a little backpack. I went to REI because I knew how good the return policy was. And I bought a $350 backpack. It was insane. And then, like, after the weekend, I just, like, took it back.
You just got all your money back?
I just got all my money back.
You probably would have found that at Bi-MART for, like, $30.
Yeah, but I would have been able to take it back. So I got, like, the top-of-the-line thing. I went hiking once, and then I just took it back. And he ended up walking basically the whole time. So I didn't
that was going to be my follow-up question.
He walked, like, literally the whole time until we, like,
the whole point to exert the energy?
Yes, but like if he chooses that he no longer wants to walk, then what happens?
You drag him,
throw him in, and throw him in the water and let him flow downstream.
Works every time.
Works every time.
Does REI have the same return policy as Costco?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, especially if you're like one of their members, which I am. So
does the Costco return policy,
people.
since it's well known to be incredible? Does that apply to everything at Costco?
I think so.
Just about.
Food? Does that apply to food?
It pretty much. I think so.
If you had
you've got a reason.
Bad food and you brought it back,
like you can't just like eat like 5.5 of the 6 muffins and then say something was wrong with the muffins and get your money back. But if maybe something rotted quickly or something like that, and you're like, I just bought these avocados and it's been like 4 days and they're all gone, like dunzo. Yeah, I think they would take that back.
Well, I'm thinking you get like a box of the Foster Farms frozen corn dogs, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then you eat all of it, you save the box, and then you get like the Bar S, way cheaper corn dogs. You stuff them all in there and be like, I changed my mind. I'm going to return it. That's a way to save money.
What a great thought exercise.
I mean,
never thought of that, huh?
So all you're doing,
I don't know
is
how many people
continuing buying Bar S corn dogs, the one you don't like, so you're giving them all your business while you're pulling a scheme over on Costco to get.
How long until they start recognizing?
And at what point are you just buying the same box of Bar S?
How much money are you
corn
saving?
dogs that you put back?
I'm saying if the Foster Farms box that you're getting at Costco is like $5, right? And then the Bar S is like $2.50. Then you're saving $2.50 every time.
That's his get-rich-quick scheme there.
I would love to see you play this out.
It's called buying and flipping.
The Costco
I don't know if
flip.
that's what that means.
Not so sure that's what that means.
If that's a premise of my TV show on HGTV, would you watch it?
I might. I will say though, I pulled that same move. I'm sure you guys did too back in the day when like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video do the old swap out of the disc. Like I would get the newest, go and rent the newest Need for Speed, and then swap it out for the version that was like, 2 versions ago, and I would keep the newest one, so I didn't have to pay $50, $60 for a new game. I would do that all the time.
I had a buddy in high school who was an absolute schemer, just side hustles everywhere, and we knew where he was headed. Like he was gonna do this for everything in his life. Mm-hmm. But he used to go, like, he knew that I love movies. He knew I would go to Blockbuster and get the DVDs that's 4 for $30. And he's like, you don't need to do that. I can save you some money. Just pay me this much and I'll get you as many movies as you want. So his scheme, one of them, he had many. One of them was to buy a Fred Meyer or Albertsons gift card. And then he would go to RedBox and get 15 or 20 fucking movies. And then he'd sell them to you. And then because he bought it with a gift card, there's no way to trace it with late fees.
So they couldn't charge him.
I
the
had
full
stacks
price of
of RedBox movies I bought from him.
Jesus.
Hustling
No wonder.
people.
Fucking genius.
Is RedBox still around?
I think
I
so.
think
There's still a couple
outside of your
7-Elevens, right?
7-Eleven, McDonald's.
I think the McDonald's deal is done.
Oh, is it dead?
Yeah.
The 7-Eleven on Greeley, they still have a RedBox out there.
And I think in like Safeways
Yeah.
and Fred Meyer's, they have them inside. I might have to hit a RedBox one of these nights.
You have a DVD
You gonna
player?
pull that move?
I have an Xbox.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Right. But no actual DVD player.
I think I actually do have one in my closet. A Blu-ray disc player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Blu-ray. It's unbelievable.
Sup.
Unbelievable.
It is funny today that's no longer that's less of an impressive thing and more like you just get confused looks from people. Like I had a coworker that was talking to me about I haven't seen The League and I've been talking about starting it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that's my absolute favorite show. I'll give you my DVD. It's Blu-ray. You could watch all of it. And I just gave him the look like, who the fuck has a DVD player? Like,
Yeah,
was you saying Blu-ray supposed to impress me? Because I'm just fucking confused. I don't have a DVD player anymore.
It's 1080p. Okay.
I just looked at him and I was like, it's got to be on one of the streaming services I have. He goes, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Where have you been?
And I think it's on Netflix.
I did think...
Great show to watch, though. Highly recommend.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be watching it on Blu-ray.
That is a very unfortunate circumstance.
There's going to be so many interesting things about, like, technology evolution and everything. And again, I'm sure that we've talked about this in some capacity. But I called my wife the other day. I was in the car. I was driving. I was actually driving to Jimmy's on Saturday. And, like, the dial tone, like, you know, it rings and everything. Like, why? That is the ring that has always been the ring in my lifetime. How come the ring has never evolved? You know, like the...
Yeah. I'll tell you why.
Okay. There's a reason?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So it is based on geography, actually.
Okay.
So, for instance, when you call somebody, like when I would call my parents when they were in China.
It's a beep.
It's a beep.
Like a...
Not that long. So it's different. So it's like... Deet.
Yep.
Deet.
That's when you know they're international.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then,
All right.
and I think that's specific to Asia, maybe. And then I think North America is the trill that we know. And then I think when they were in South America, it's the longer, like doot, doot. So I think it's based on where you're located.
Where you're at and where you're calling.
Yes.
Interesting. Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that, but I knew right away what you're explaining because when I call people at work and it goes from what we're used to for like a half a second and it switches to the beep, then I know they're abroad.
Yeah.
Because then
right.
then one would answer like, "Oh, I'm actually on vacation in Italy right now."
You're like,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for this.
But yeah, I think that's why it's always been the same because it's representative of the
where
US,
we're at.
Yeah.
All right. Good
What
stuff.
I'm curious about is someone getting paid for that? Does someone have the patent for the ringtone?
Sure.
And the thing is it actually, I'm sure it is different. We all use iPhones, and I'm sure iPhone has their own trill that we've become accustomed to.
Trillville.
And exactly. And then I'm sure if we were to use like an actual like hard line landline phone, it would be a little bit different.
Sure. The startup on an Apple computer, that like bah sound, right? I don't know. Are you unaware? Hold on.
I mean,
second.
I've never had a Mac.
So Apple startup.
I mean, I'm sure I'm familiar.
Sound. This one.
Yeah.
Apparently, when these were, Apple computers were just coming out, or the MacBooks, there was a man who, oh boy, shh,
Charlie.
right. Yeah, calm down. a guy wanted to have this sound on the computers, but the higher ups had kind of overruled, and we're just like, we're going to have a blank. There's going to be no sound. We don't need a sound or whatever. So like on the last couple days of like before they delivered the computer, he just like slid it into the R&D department, and then like, you know, he overruled everyone, and it was by pure accident. It shouldn't have been there.
Does it get paid the royalties for it?
I'm not sure, but
No,
maybe.
Probably not. That's not how it works. I'm sure one of the higher ups was like,
There's
yeah,
a
this
sound
was
that
my
should
idea.
not have been there, but now it's an internationally recognized sound. So there you go.
There's always a little person, not literally a little person.
There is always a little person.
There's always a low person on the totem
little
pole,
guy.
the rankings.
Yeah.
That a big man on campus always takes their idea, and they're the ones who get credit and gets paid for it.
Mm-hmm,
It's that intern on Spotify that created the top 5 at the end of year.
Yeah, end of year thing.
End of year
Right.
thing. She created that, and they're like, "Oh, you were an unpaid intern. We'll just take it and run with it." And it became a huge thing. She didn't get a fucking penny out of that.
What was your most listened to song of last year? Do you remember?
It Just Makes Sense podcast.
Of course. Yeah.
That is a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever heard of it? It goes, take my hand.
Exactly. Should we get to some sports controversy, boys?
Yes. Hey, how about us hitting a bet?
Look at us go.
We
Yeah,
should
before
do that.
start
We should
talking
do that
about
more
sports-
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow us on our at official IJMS for our bets. Apparently we're good at that now.
Yeah, we're kind of
1 weekend.
We're figuring it out.
We're just
I don't
alt
know about
spreading.
figuring it out.
and-
I mean, we've made progress.
We won a $300 bet.
Yeah, we did.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. And honestly, although Miguel and I both got sniped by one leg in our alternate spread parlays, I mean, both of our games, yours was 1 point, mine was 2.5. Like, I still think that we're very close. Like, it's not like, holy shit, we were way off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I think we can make those small adjustments going forward. I think my strategy going into next week is I'm going to do, like, I've already put in the way too early 10-leg alternate spread parlay, which I'll post and everybody can follow. I think I'm going to do like a 10, an 8, and a 6.
A 10.
So three different bets. You might as well.
What are your thoughts on that?
Thoughts?
What money are you placing on each? Same?
More as they get lower.
Okay.
So I did 20.
So you're probably looking at like a plus 300, plus 500, and plus 800.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I just want to believe that this works consistently. Like, I want to see like 5 weeks in a row where it hits.
And I think that this is the type of bet that we could get like a 3 to 5 week run. I think the teaser is a different thing. A teaser, the monster teasers you guys are doing are what, minus 130, right?
140.
Okay, well, minus 140. Most of these alternate spreads are still plus 500, plus 300 or more. So, these are riskier bets. But I think that if we do this right, I do think that we could hit, maybe a 5 week streak. I don't think we're going to hit anything like 16 in a row or 21 in a row like Walsh did with the monster teas. But I do think that we could put something together.
And listen, we put that bet together late Saturday night.
It was 1:04 in the morning
when none of us were right in the head.
But
we still hit it, right? So that's what I'm saying. That,
we can do it. I believe.
Exactly.
I mean, our group bet did hit, so it's not like,
Yeah.
ours got sniped, but the group bet.
Yeah.
Which I
Right.
think we should
All I'm
do
saying
more
is
often.
if we can achieve a $300 payout when we were inebriated is where I'm going with this.
It's like you're playing beer pong better when you're drunk.
Yes.
But we can.
You don't
I
think
say.
about it
I
too
say
much.
we continue doing that. Maybe. I'll do the 10 leg or whatever by myself, and then we'll
We'll
We can
have
do
an
another
official
7 or 8.
IJMS one that we'll do
Yeah.
every week as well.
Yeah,
So
let's do that.
Follow us on Twitter.
Boom, baby.
So
1 for 1.
Yeah.
Nice 100 a week payout.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Why
And then
not?
I'll blow it all on Monday Night Football on
Perfect.
boosted Cooper Cup anytime touchdowns.
Cooper
What the
Cup.
fuck was that?
Yeah. Well, what the fuck was up with Chase Kaminsky and Jake Runyon, Braxton, at the Lake Erie Walleye Tour? The story that is sweeping the internet, the sports story of the century,
Quite possibly.
is when 2 professional bass or I don't even know if they were fishing for bass. I don't think they were.
They're tournament fishermen.
Tournament fishermen.
And just, I don't know if you're going to get into like their history of success.
I will let everyone know what they did, and then I will let you go with their history of success. Okay. So the weigh-ins at this Lake Erie Walleye Tour happened. I think they were on top, probably by a good margin. And I'm not sure. It was like there's this video that's going around that has millions of views, and I don't know why. Did someone accuse them or suspect that something was fishy?
They've had a history of quite a bit of success, and they've had it's in tournament fishing. There's people who are like really, really good, but having like back to back to back to back, like there's a certain amount of luck that you're dealing with, like finding
the right spot.
Yeah, we're talking about fishing, but you said Jake Runyon, a former NFL player.
I don't think so.
You're not talking about Jake Runyon, the former lineman for the Eagles.
I don't think so.
We're just talking about fishing guys. These are not former athletes.
No, we're just
professional tournament fishermen.
Very much just fishing at this point.
Yes. Okay. Professional tournament fishing. So the top of the competitive fishing game, there is this team that was just landsliding people back to back to back tournaments. So people were like, "Hey, this doesn't happen. Something is going on. Something is going on." And I believe that somebody said that they witnessed, or they were led to believe that they were stuffing their fish. And it got to a breaking point, essentially, at this last tournament that happened this last weekend. And Pete, you can play the video. It is.
What do you mean by
intense.
stuffing their fish when they get weighed?
Yes. So what they would do is they would take fillets of other fish and stuff it down their throat into their stomach with like lead balls that they like weights that they would
sinkers.
Use. Yeah, for fishing.
Because they are judged by how much the fish weighs.
Exactly.
So let me play the clip.
And Jake Runyon were busted with 8 pounds lead egg sinker stuffed inside of their fish during the weigh-in of the Lake Erie Walleye Tour.
Pure chaos.
This is them getting
This is
caught.
them finding it, yeah.
And you can see the guy who's just standing there looking down with his hands in his pockets.
He's taking it.
And he's just not doing anything.
He doesn't know what to do.
I'd get the fuck out of there, bro.
So the guys that were cheating and got caught were just taking all this heat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only one of them is there. You can hear the crowd of mercenaries saying, "Where's the other guy? Where is he?"
Yeah, and these are gun-toting guys. Too.
Oh, yeah. This is not a community you want to fuck around with.
Who checked?
So there's like officials for the tournament.
It was like I don't know, like if Grand Marshal or whatever, like one of the judges comes up there, and then I'm not exactly sure what led him into like cutting one of these open, but then he cuts the fish open and he's pulling these lead sinkers out in these fillets of fish that are stuffed into these other fish. It's incredible drama.
So, because they had a gut feeling that something was off, like you can't be winning like that. One of them finally
consistently
checked
over and over again. And the thing about these fishing tournaments is that it's not just small potatoes winnings. These guys have won like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now all of it is in question. Apparently, police are investigating. They were escorted out by police, probably for their own well-being, and they could potentially be charged with fraud.
Well, and the thing is
don't you win a lot of fucking money too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, wow.
So they'll have
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of
they
dollars.
They got to pay all
on the
that shit
line.
back.
Potential, I don't know.
I would. If they're found guilty or whatever, I'm sure. But I think the craziest part is like that this is a niche and small enough sports community that it's like so interwoven that it's like this dude is fucked. He is never going to be able to step foot in this sport ever again.
Yeah, I mean, like he had like patches. He had sponsor patches all up and down everything. Like they were
literally like the Tiger Woods of fishing at the moment.
Right.
Like they were just dominating. So they lost all their sponsorships for sure. Like that's.
And
like,
this
the
guy, like
worst
as
thing
there's
do.
ripping these fish open, the guy is just standing there and taking it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was just stunned or he just like knew that kind of like this is over. I will never come back from this. Like he was
just frozen.
Stunned.
He didn't see it coming.
I mean,
he got cocky.
There's a longer video of it, and the official even says before he starts cutting open the fish, he says, "I don't know what I'm going to find in here, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to walk away right now, just in case things get ugly." And he just said, "Nope, go ahead." But yeah, I mean, what a crazy scene. What a crazy scene. And I mean, I guess people do, crazy things for money, but
why did his partner bail on him? Where was he?
Because he's smart.
Because he knew.
Because he's smart.
He knew.
I mean, I guess maybe he says that there's some pride in standing there and taking your lashing. It's like, dude, if you had any pride, you wouldn't have cheated in the first place.
Exactly. All in all, they found 8 pounds of lead sinkers and fish fillets.
Not from each fish.
No,
that's how much weight they had.
Right. Which, I mean, gosh, you're talking about ounces of difference.
How long did they get away with this before they were caught?
That's a good question.
I think that's
I
what
don't
they're
know
going
if
to
they'll
look
be able
into.
to prove it or anything like that, but certainly all of it will be in doubt.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, obviously, there's going to be litigation and all kinds of stuff because there's tons of people who have been robbed out of money because of that. So.
But I will say that this was one of those stories online where I was like immediately hooked. I was like, I need to know. I need to know. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even try to do that.
Is this any different than taking steroids in baseball and beating everyone?
I mean, a little bit, I think. Because
you still have to actually hit the ball, and you still have to make the catch. Like, I mean, these guys, I guess they made the catch on the fish, but then they stuffed. So I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. That's
a weird and hard comparison to make, but for some reason I feel that's
the steroid
it's different.
era of fishing.
That I would say that using illegal bait or something that would attract more fish to you rather than other people that they couldn't use. I'd say that probably is more.
It's closer to taking roids.
It would be almost like going in and swapping out the baseball somehow, or I don't know. That's a hard comparison to make. You've got me twisted.
A stumper.
It was a little bit of a stumper there. I wasn't ready for that curveball you just threw.
Oh, Pete. Easy now. Easy now.
God, you can write a book with this. God damn.
A lot of fishing puns tonight. I
Yeah.
kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like where this is going. We'll have updates as it goes with this fishing controversy.
It's
and
not
also
the last we'll hear of this fishing controversy.
Yeah, also a controversy that happened yesterday, which was with Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf, who as he entered the fourth quarter, had 7 catches for over 100 yards in this, what turned out to be a 48-45 scoregami game, which had never occurred in the NFL before. I hammered the under when I knew that Swift and St. Brown were out and everything. I was just like, there's no way that all these points were going to be scored. And then the over was basically hit by just one team. So
what was the score of the Browns-Chargers game when we went to L.A.?
49-42 or 48-42, something like that. I think 86 points were scored. So 48-42.
Okay. So this just felt a little short of that.
No, it was more. 48-45. Yeah. So 3 more points.
Oh, 3 more.
Yeah. So a very exciting game, and DK Metcalf being one of those very exciting players in that. Geno targets him a lot because he's such a big body. But then DK Metcalf is midway through the fourth quarter, carted off the field. And people were wondering what was going on. But immediately the Fox broadcast said, hold on, DK Metcalf is not hurt. He just needs to go to the bathroom.
I mean, if you watch him get carted off, he was literally just sitting there like spitting, and he's just chilling. He didn't look like he was in pain at all.
Didn't at all. So that was what was so confusing. So 5.7 million people have viewed this one video so far of him just kind of like riding off. And then, apparently just had to take a major shit. And then DK was a good sport about it and quote tweeted this very viral video and said that clinch walk wouldn't have made it.
I agree.
So
I can see why he had to get carted off.
Just like, do you think that like bathrooms should just be on sidelines anyways? I feel like they should.
Well, don't they
have those pop-up things?
Yeah, the pop-up ones.
I think some of them just take a piss when they put that up.
Yeah, I think,
they're not
if
blow
you're
that
dumping,
thing
you
up.
gotta head back to the locker room.
You're not gonna blow up that little guy.
I mean, fuck, man. They got people that are in charge of your water, your towels, your taping, and all that. You don't really want to assign someone to clean up fucking player shit out on the field.
Sure.
Like, if you need to take a dump, yes, just go back. There's not going to be a bucket of fucking players' poop down there, and someone will be in charge of cleaning that.
Bucket.
That would be terrible.
So
a little much.
I'm glad that he leaned into it so that clinch walk wouldn't have made it. So good job.
I
Glad
mean,
he's not hurt.
It would be funny to see him try to walk needing the shit real bad. try to power walk to the fucking locker room.
Yeah, and like they were like very much on the opposite side. So
what if that's all Antonio Brown had to do when he left and ditched the Bucks last year? He really just needed to take a dump.
He hasn't found his way back.
Yeah, he's like, it's too embarrassing. I guess I'll just leave.
I mean, speaking of Antonio Brown, I'm pretty sure he showed everybody his dick.
Yeah.
Was that a Holiday Inn?
I don't think they have those in Dubai. I think it was maybe a little bit better than that. But yeah, and guys just trying to stay relevant. And I think that his new thing is just jerking off in front of people in hotels in Dubai. So
he was he jerking off? Was he just flashing his shaft?
I've heard both, but
see, I'm not siding with anyone here, but here's my take. Why is Antonio Brown pantsless showing off his dick at a Turkish bath or wherever the fuck he was?
The UAE.
How is that any different than like 6 dicks right in front of me at a 24-hour fitness locker room?
Because they were at a public pool? I mean, there were...
Was it a public pool?
Yeah, I mean, it was at a hotel pool.
Maybe nudity is allowed.
Is a gym not a public...
They didn't seem very excited to have his dick being wielded in front of
Is
them.
a gym not a public place? A gym bathroom?
Room.
It's a private area.
It's a bathroom.
It's a private area. I will say, though, the funniest part of all of it, I don't know if you guys saw his tweet yesterday, but he tweeted, "I'm telling every team that needs some offense to pick up AB because he's shown that he still has the ability to expose a D."
That's a good one. That's good timing.
It's very good comedic timing. Come on now. I didn't see that, and now that's kind of funny.
That sounds like the Wendy's Twitter account. These people have great timing. Clever.
Not bad.
Oh, I thought that was very, very funny.
Funny and also bad timing was what happened with this Broncos defensive lineman, I believe it was. It was a fat guy dive. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this, right?
Great hustle by 7-2 on
7-2, Garrett Bolles. Have you seen this?
Yeah, sure.
When he dove cross. Yeah, I saw that.
a very good fat man dive.
I mean, fuck, man. The fact that the guy's down there, you got to give him some fucking credit.
Well, and you can tell he might not have his contract all sewn up. He's trying to show that, hey, let's keep Big 7'2" on the roster.
Always going to be on the big man side.
Absolutely.
Why was he the only one down there? Where were the fucking DBs that run a 4.3 40, huh?
Yeah, where
were you?
Where's Jerry Jeudy on that play?
Where's the
Cortland
wide receivers
Sutton.
that are faster? The guy hustles. That's all I saw in that video.
Love him.
He fucking hustled.
Love him. Put his name down on the roster and blood.
Where's Russ, huh? Let's ride. He's standing there. High fives. Let's ride, Bronco Nation.
Right.
Fucking
Get outta here,
shitbag.
His wife wrote, "I'd be lying if I said I didn't die laughing. Good effort, though, babe." So
yeah, babe.
Good job, babe. Babe.
Babe.
What is your... Do you have a cutesy nickname for your significant other? Are you dropping babes?
Daughter.
And what does she call you?
Papa.
Papa.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not dropping babes or honeys or
whenever
sugar tits. None of that.
I just stick with baby. Hey, baby.
Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, in the next 2 days when this is out and Ashley hears this, it'll be a very cringy moment for her.
Daughter.
And then you, Papa.
Papa.
Oh, man.
I wanted to do a thought exercise with you guys.
Okay, we haven't done one of those in a while.
A thought jingle?
As it relates to...
thought tinkle?
As it relates to quarterback comparisons in the NFL. And I want you to tell me
I like games.
who you would rather take. All right, so I'm going to give you guys completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, and interceptions. We're going to do this 2 times.
Okay.
The first quarterback has a 61.1% completion percentage. The second one has 77.3.
Are these stats based off this season?
They're based off of this year so far
through 4
the
weeks.
first 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. The second, back to the first quarterback, 980 yards passing. The second quarterback, 1,037 yards passing. The first quarterback again, 4 touchdowns. The second quarterback, 6 touchdowns. First quarterback, 1 interception. Second quarterback, 2 interceptions. So again, first quarterback 61.1%, 980, 4 and 1, and then 77.3, 1,037, 6 and 2. Which would you
What's
take?
their records?
Which would you take? And let me get to NFL.
I know who these
records.
2 are.
You do?
Yeah.
Who are these 2, Miguel?
Wait, what can I guess? I wanna
Okay,
know
the
their
records of these teams are 2-2 for quarterback 1, 2-2 for quarterback 2.
Okay. Am I trying to guess who they are, or just which one do I take?
I mean, it seems like Miguel knows who these 2 are.
I don't know.
I mean, I'd obviously
I don't know
take-
that for a fact.
But guess.
I know one of them for a fact. I think based on your stats, one of them's Tom Brady.
Incorrect.
Really? Fuck. I thought the first one was Tom Brady. Second one was Aaron Rodgers.
No, I feel like because we were just talking about Russell Wilson, it's about Russell Wilson.
It is about Russell Wilson and Geno Smith.
Is Geno the second?
Geno is the
Love
second
that.
one. 77.3, 1,037, 6 and 2.
I'll take fucking Geno.
Yeah,
And
Geno's been balling out.
Geno Smith is making veterans minimum, essentially, and you have Russ, who just got another $200 million.
Russ is just robbing Denver out of the money.
I tell you what, Pete Carroll looks real damn smart right now.
Yeah, and I mean, like when you look at Geno Smith by the numbers, he holds some statistical records so far. That 77.3% completion percentage through his first 4 games this season is the highest completion percentage by a quarterback in the first 4 games of in an NFL season in NFL history. So,
wow.
Let Geno cook on his veterans minimum contract.
He ain't writing back.
He ain't writing back. I
mean,
love that he trademarked that, by the way.
You'll probably take Geno over a lot of other quarterbacks right now.
These days. Okay, so the second comparison that I wanted to give you guys.
Tom Brady's going to be one of these.
So you think, good sir. So you think. One moment, please.
The second one.
The one that's better.
Copy.
Less INTs.
I want more INTs.
Because it shows they take risks? Yeah. God, you love Brett Favre.
I do.
Okay.
Also love what he does with his money.
So quarterback.
Smart guy.
Quarterback 1 through 4 games has a 71% completion percentage, 1,015 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Quarterback 2 through 4 games has a 61% completion percentage, so that's 9% less, but has 1,026 yards, so that's 100 yards more, and has 11 touchdowns against 3 interceptions, so that's 4 and 6 for quarterback 1.
I think I'm going to take the 11 and 3 guy.
I'm taking second. Is the first one Stafford?
The first one is Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, fuck that. 6 picks to 4 TDs? No.
And guess who number 2 is?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
11 and 3.
11 and 3 for Jared Goff.
Ballin'.
So, and again, you know,
Detroit.
you're talking about opposing quarterbacks who were traded and kind of interwoven into their new teams. And what is happening with Jared Goff has actually been a pleasant surprise. I anticipate it not carrying on the same way. I do think it's still going to be a struggle for Matthew Stafford because of what's going on with the offensive line with the Ram. I mean, like the backup to the backups are getting hurt at this point. So
yeah, it was, especially watching that game tonight, it was tough to watch. He was getting no time at all.
Right. And then again, you have a running game that you're not very confident
Well,
in
starts
either.
the line there as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, like that's your offense is only as good as your offensive line.
Yeah. I will say though that I love that the Lions are putting up points every week. That's fun to see because usually when I have, I think the Lions, I think the under. So it's kind of fun watching them play, even though they're not winning all of these games that are pretty close and fun to watch.
Do you think
they are a fun team to watch in general?
Do you think the Monday night game tonight shows that the Rams were depleted or the Niners are good?
I think it did both at the same time. I think the weakness of the offensive line for the Rams was definitely shown tenfold tonight. Like it was, what do they have? 5, 6 sacks? Something
They had
like that?
7 sacks from 5 different players.
Yeah, that's just bad for any NFL team. So I think it really showed how weak the Rams are going to be until they can improve that. And it also showed that the Niners are probably better with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, kind of an odd stat is that Sean McVay 0-7 in the regular season as a head coach against the 49ers. Regular season.
Shanahan has his number.
But, the defense there's a little bit of injury on the defensive side for the 49ers. That being said, I do think that Jimmy G is a good game manager. Debo went off tonight. Those guys making additional plays, additional yards make you look exponentially better. And when you have a guy like Debo, that's certainly going to help your cause.
But outside of
Jeff Wilson went off for a long run.
Outside of Cooper Kupp, what do you know that works with the Rams? It's
just Tyler Higbee.
It's their defense.
Yeah.
What happened to those guys? Jeff Wilson ran all over them tonight.
Yeah.
What happened to Aaron Donald? What happened to
Ramsey?
The best hit that Bobby Wagner had tonight was on that fan on the field. So,
I mean, he did have that one on the 1 yard line that was pretty impressive, but yeah, wasn't that just for a gender reveal?
No, the guy was wearing some sort of
protest.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
they gotta stop that shit, man. Come on.
So
You're just gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think that was just kind of looking at the Monday night game. Anything else when it comes to the weekend games that you guys noticed? I mean, obviously the Baltimore Buffalo game.
That was crazy.
Just kind of how, once again, Buffalo ends up losing in a very chaotic fashion. They choose to go for it. Sorry. Yeah, they won in a very chaotic fashion, and then you had, just whatever has happened within the last couple of weeks with what happened in Miami as well.
Yeah.
The decisions to go for it on fourth down and then having intercept. It was...
Yeah,
it was a very entertaining game.
I feel
but yeah, it
bad for the Ravens being put in that position twice because I feel like it's like when you're in fantasy and you play the person who scored the most points that week and you were the second highest scorer. It's like if I would have played anybody else that week, I would have dominated them. It just happened to be the Bills also playing their best that week,
Right.
and we couldn't get that last play. So I don't know.
I don't think we were really shown like through week 4 anything that was like insanely shocking that happened from Thursday to Monday night. There wasn't anything that was like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened. Like, Ravens gave up a big lead. They're not typically known for that. That was a great, somewhat of a shootout game without being high scoring.
Yeah.
Right, it was just like a blow for blow type of thing.
Yeah, it's like, the Ravens took their foot off the gas pedal and then let Josh Allen, who's talented enough to come back, whatever, with a banged up secondary. They still made it.
The Eagles come back, being down by 14 was at home.
But I think
and then they just dominated the rest
we're
of the
getting
way.
closer. I think when you're watching NFL through week 5, maybe 6, we're still waiting for the dust to settle, and we're trying to figure out
the cream to rise to the top.
Yeah,
I
we're
guess,
waiting
is
like
the-
the stuff that we're expecting to happen, and you're kind of a little bit kind of confused, like, okay, this hasn't happened yet, whatever. And then you're starting to figure out like the Eagles Jaguars it was a great game, but not at any point during that game did I think Philly was going to lose.
Yeah, and I
it
think
was just like you're kind of figuring out who the really good teams are.
Yeah. And Philly, I think, definitely stamped their position as the number 1 team in the NFL as of week 4.
Yeah.
But
I didn't fear the Jags beating them at all throughout that game, even though it was somewhat close.
Yeah. And the thing because I totally agree with you, and I think I said this on week 2. It's like I think week 6 is the magic moment. Because at week 4, you know nothing about a 2-2 team. But you know a lot about a 4-2 team or a 2-4 team. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I think that's really what's going to clear a lot of the confusion, at least from my end. Because like some of these 2-2 teams, like the Broncos, like the Seahawks, it's like, well, what's really happening?
What
here?
are ya?
The Browns,
Sure.
fucking losing to Atlanta.
And like what we talked about outside, like you're thinking about these first round guys. Who's just starting off slow and then who's gonna pick up. What's happening to the Jonathan Taylors of the world, who should have been one in the running for MVP last year. He doesn't have a touchdown through week 4.
And now he's hurt.
Yeah. And then Leonard Fournette got his first touchdown as a receiving touchdown last week.
Yeah.
And you're waiting to see what happens to the Dalvin Cooks, the Jamar Chase, the Derrick Henrys.
Yeah.
Is it gonna trend where they are gonna show you who you thought they were, or are they a bust this season? Like, what's happening?
You're right, or teams like the Packers who struggle with Bailey Zappi, which was kind of fun to watch. Gotta love Bailey Zappi.
Hey, and I want to.
It was just like bargain basement Mac Jones. They look exactly the same.
And I want to get back to some receipts real quick. If you don't mind.
So Packers barely taking care of business have a field goal as time expires. Then of course you have the Chargers taking care of business, and the Texans, Giants making it closer than it should have been against the Bears. But
Chargers
whatever.
surprised me.
Really?
Yeah, I thought like Herbie was still hurt. I didn't think they were gonna, all of a sudden Eckler had a breakout game, and I mean the Texans still gave him a little bit of a scare, but I thought the Texans could have beat them that
The
week.
Cowboys have surprised me. I know that they've benefited a little bit from not the toughest schedule since Dak has been out, but I mean...
But Washington's so fucking bad, though.
Yeah, but just still, though, to not, totally fall on your face with a guy who was on your practice squad, like Cooper Rush, now 4-0 as a starter.
Here's a shitty thing is Cooper Rush can go fucking 8-0 as a starter
And
for
it won't
Dallas.
matter.
and Dak gets healthy, and they're like, "You're done."
Yeah, I mean, he's already
It's not gonna matter.
He's already got his stitches out. He's
yeah,
gonna start
he's just
here
it's
next
just
week
the
or whatever.
status of in the NFL. Jerry Jones, how much he loves Dak, it just doesn't fucking matter, and it wouldn't be the right thing.
What are your receipts here?
Well, I posted my bet on the Twitters and
at official NJMS.
Absolutely, and I had the Pats plus 18.5. And in the tweet, I always ask, where does this lose? And people will respond. And I had two guys in the comments clowning on me because obviously we had Hoyer starting and we didn't know that Hoyer was going to go down. I'm sure once that happened, those guys were like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be right. And boy, do they look like fools, Mr. Sportsbook Ken and Eric Morganti.
Of course,
Come back.
Eric doesn't know what the fuck
Come
he's
back.
talking about.
Exposed.
That's what I thought.
So
I got picked off by the Commanders, you idiot.
You did take Green Bay in our pod picks, though.
I know. Well, it's
the
a
hedge.
little
Get the
bit
hedge.
different.
This kind of happened a long time ago, it seems, at this point. But what happened with Tua and the head injury there, it's just like, again, they had tried to sell that he didn't have a head injury a couple of weeks ago, and then what happened to him on the field in Cincinnati was just like, as soon as I saw that happen, I was just like immediately like angry at all of the people who just kind of allowed this.
Did
to
the doctor
happen.
get fired?
Yeah, so they got rid of the neuroconsultant or whatever. There's an agreement where either the NFL or the team can, without any sort of agreement on either side, can say like, peace out, we're not going to deal with this person. The one thing that has come out of this, one, is that Tua was able to fly home with the team, but then two, there's like, basically you can call these Tua rules that are going into effect very quickly, which is, the mobility, like visual mobility signs that are no-go symptoms now within the NFL. So finally, like, people are, being aware of this type of thing, but like you had to see this guy lock up in a fencing response.
It takes one sacrificial lamb for you to put these rules into effect.
But unfortunately, that's not the first time that's happened. It just seems like it was the first time it happened to a quarterback on prime time with really the knowledge of the head injuries. Because you can look at Shazier.
Parham last year with the Chargers.
You can go back
up to
like Austin Collie for the Colts. There was one time Peyton threw him a pass over the middle, and he just got obliterated. So, these things have been happening for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah. Had he had the lockup or the fencing response without what happened the previous week, I don't think we're talking about this. I think, I just don't because there were a lot of people who, they were trying to pull the wool over people's eyes and saying that what we saw when he was stumbling around against the Bills was not a concussion, when we all knew it was, right? And this was then 4 days later. You take a guy, and let's put this in perspective here. The guy who threw Tua down was 130 pounds heavier than him. That is the equivalent of a teenager taking a toddler and thrusting them to the ground. That's the equivalent of a parent, a grown man taking like a grade schooler and throwing them down to the ground. Like, that's like the size difference amongst. And so, like, again, a guy who had a head injury, that what we thought we saw against the Bills, with it, him stumbling around, and then to get ragdolled by a guy who is over 100 pounds more than he is just kind of like, finally, it just took this incredibly scary situation. I don't think there's anyone who saw that in real time and wasn't like affected by that.
Yeah. No, it was pretty tough to see. And it's good to hear that he's at least, he, like you said, checked out of the hospital that night, flew back with the team, seems to be, passing all the tests that they're giving him so far.
That could be career-ending.
Yeah, but they're still keeping him out, which I'm thankful for, to do more testing because, with head injuries and stuff like that, you never know. These things don't all happen at once.
What's the answer? What's the answer to prevent that? Do you have an answer? Does anyone have an answer?
Well, I honestly thought there was already rules in the NFL where you couldn't like slam like that. Like that's the thing that I was confused about on that play was there was no penalty for like personal foul for misconduct for like doing the, kind of the wrestling move. Like I don't know where's the line on that cuz when I was watching it definitely looked like he used his leverage to slam him onto the ground. So I would think that you call more of those personal fouls, and hopefully that teaches the defense not to make those slamming motions.
See, I would understand if that was a rule that was in effect and they call that. But the way that he got tackled and slammed was like way milder than the way Derwin James picked up Travis Kelce and fucking suplexed him. You know what I mean? The only difference, Kelce didn't get hurt, and he was a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But why do we love football so much? It doesn't matter how many safety things you add to the equipment. It doesn't matter how you put in rules where you can't do a wrestling move or anything like that. We fucking love it because it's violent, and it's always going to stay violent.
But I totally agree with you. But I think that it's still violent without that stuff. Like, it's still a violent, quick game. You're still going to have pop of the pads. You're still going to have people getting their bell rung. There's always going to be that. But I do think that, because the question is, how do we prevent this? That's really the only thing they can do, is penalize moves
but it stops
like that.
there.
And
it's still going to happen.
Fine people more, fine the athletes more. So in their mind, there's a dollar sign equated to it. That's probably what will at least lessen it. But I don't think it leaves the games completely. These guys are, incredible athletes that are in a state of mind where it's like, I got to do everything I can to get this guy to the ground. So,
and this stuff happens very quickly as well, right? I mean.
Yeah, it's all in the snap of fingers. It's
right. You don't even realize maybe even what your strength is at that point. But I mean, I'm sure that, like, again, Miguel, to your point, when it comes to the what we look at in highlight reels and what people are looking at online and all that, like, it's one-handed catches, it's spectacular plays, it's big hits, and there is so much violence to this game, and I think that for sure, like, having that protocol in place is, I think, a lot about what people were most, and including myself, most upset about, because it's like, he shouldn't have been out there in the first place. So, like, Teddy Bridgewater could have gotten thrown down in the exact same way, but he didn't already have what many believe to have a concussion already, and now you're adding a compounded head injury on top of a head injury. So it was just kind of like, why was he even out there in the first place? So I do think that there was a lot of, like, hindsight and a lot of ability to look back and then criticize the former decision versus, like, oh gosh, that was scary, but he shouldn't have even been out there to experience that hit.
It's weird to think, because I'm sure that this wouldn't be the first time you hear this argument, but when you're thinking about, like, Aussie rules football or, like, rugby, these guys are playing without safety equipment, without pads. And some would say the sport's just as violent as American football, the way they tackle, the way they slam people down. But they have significantly less serious injuries than the NFL.
Yeah.
Or even fucking Division I college football, for that matter.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, does wearing safety equipment like pads and helmets make you a little bit like, you risk a little bit more of your head because you have that, versus, like, these guys are aware, I'm not wearing anything to protect my head or anywhere in my body, so I got to learn how to tackle properly. It's just weird to think that with more safety that you have, you're more
reckless.
Yeah.
Potentially.
No, it's true. It's quite the conundrum. But speaking of violence in football, have you guys gone back and rewatched the Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph situation anytime recently?
I have, actually. Yeah.
I saw it just a couple days ago where he takes the helmet off and tries to smash him with his...
Actually connects.
Yeah, and, I mean, allegedly. It is
not allegedly.
It is crazy.
Yes,
because in the moment,
psychopathic.
In the moment, I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" You're kind of like caught up, like what is actually happening. You don't immediately go to the thought of like, "Oh, he's attacking this man." But going back and watching it again with like the knowledge of what's happening, it is an incredibly violent interaction. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he got off with so little. To be honest.
Did he? Wasn't he suspended for the year?
No, I think he got like 6 games.
Or initially they suspended him.
Did this happen
indefinitely.
before last season?
No. That was like during the playoff game, right? Or maybe it was like right at the end of the year. This was a couple of years ago.
Right at the end of the year. I think the Steelers played the Cowboys
at the end of
Browns.
last season.
Yeah, no, 2 seasons ago. I'm pretty sure. They played once, and then 2 weeks went by, and they played again.
And this was 2019.
Yeah, and so the second time they played, there was like bad blood, and it was like going into the playoffs, and supposedly Mason Rudolph had said the N-word, and Myles Garrett.
And what did he get from that?
I think it was either 6 games, and then he got fined a shit ton.
Yeah, Myles got 6 games plus the 2019 playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucked for him.
Can you imagine a guy Myles Garrett's size swinging a fucking helmet? He's already so strong and huge.
Yeah. The guy can flip a car multiple times and come out with just a sore wrist.
After we're done, we'll watch it again.
Yeah. Who wins a fight, Myles Garrett or Aaron Donald?
Ooh, that's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
We'll probably see a celebrity fight, the way that we've seen with Le'Veon Bell.
20 years.
Yeah, with Le'Veon
They'll
Bell
be
and
on,
Adrian Peterson.
Twitch streaming their fight.
Exactly.
It's kind of like the age-old argument of the silverback gorilla versus the grizzly bear, the Kodiak grizzly bear.
Naturally,
who would win in a fight? It's like, how would you even know, man?
How would you even know?
But looking ahead, coming up on, I think the 1 or 2 1-year anniversary of our trip to LA.
Yes.
The Chargers are playing the Browns once again.
Yes.
In Cleveland this time.
You want to put a little bet ski on it?
I would love to. It's a pretty close spread, so if you're fine going money line.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we at, like 2 or 1?
When is
3
this
right
this
now.
This is week 5?
Yes.
Yeah, so this weekend in Cleveland will be.
Yeah, I think the 1 year is next weekend. But
Indeed.
But yeah, they are playing this weekend.
Are we doing like a 20 or a 50 spot? What are we doing?
You tell me, brother.
Let's do. I'll push it to 50.
Oh, that's a challenge. You better not back down from a challenge.
All right. I'll do 50 if you give me the 3 points.
Fuck
off. Now he wants points.
I'm not doing that.
Now he wants
if
points.
you just want to do 20 because you're not confident, then
okay, I'll
fine.
do 50.
All right.
This is 50 money line?
Yep.
50 money line.
I'll put it on the sheet.
Let's go
Put
Brownies.
It on the ledger. Put it on the ledger.
Let's go Brownies.
I mean, gosh, you rely on Nick Chubb. I mean, it's a dangerous. He's the best. One of the top 2 best running backs right now.
He's not better than Rashad Penny.
Probably not.
But I was looking ahead to next week. That game and the there's really 3 games that are of any interest in my opinion. That game, Bengals-Ravens, division game. I think that one's going to be good. Ravens are favored by 3 right now. And then we've got that's Sunday night. And then we've got Raiders-Chiefs on Monday night.
Monday.
Which I think the Raiders are frisky there. I think they cover.
I can
cover
see
what?
that.
7.
Ugh.
You're coming
Chiefs
off of
putting the beat down on
I
them.
mean, you're coming off of a game in which like Patrick Mahomes was like treating that like a Super Bowl. Gosh, like how competitive he looked like in that game. He was just like ready to just like slit throats in the first quarter.
Tell you what, I think with all the distractions last year with his brother and his wife, I think he came into the season he's ready to pounce on everyone.
He just stopped thinking about his pregnant wife this season.
Yeah, he's like, fuck the kids, fuck the family. I'm going to win the Super Bowl. I'll tell you what, that little spin move fadeaway, that was impressive.
That's pretty sick.
That's backyard football, but it was like calculated still where he wasn't reckless. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, agreed. And it was to my boy Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So
And you were thinking about dealing him. All of a sudden, he gives you a good game last week.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have come back and won my fantasy game. So shout out him.
What's college looking like?
Let me pull that up right now.
Let's see. NCAA scores, and we're going to have to get out of here soon. We've got about 10 minutes left on a record. TCU Kansas is a top 25 ranked matchup. Tennessee, fuck Tennessee, and LSU, a ranked matchup.
Boring.
And then Utah UCLA. How about UCLA in the top 25?
Yeah, I'll watch that. UCLA is sneaky good.
UCLA is sneaky good. We've got Ohio State, Michigan State as well.
Michigan State sucks.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought that might be a better game. And then Oregon plays Arizona.
Ooh. It'd be interesting what the points, the spread is for that.
13.5.
That's crazy. They had 17 against Stanford. They're saying that Arizona's just a little bit better. Is it at U of A?
It is.
Well, I might take the 13.5 there, huh?
Yeah.
Also, Texas A&M unranked, but they defeated Alabama last year, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama and Texas A&M.
A&M will get fucking obliterated. They're so bad this year.
Yeah, they are not good. They're not good.
What's
I watched that game last week
Their
with
offense
Mississippi
is so
State.
terrible.
Mississippi State gave them almost every opportunity to take that game away, and they just couldn't do it. They were bumbling the ball, getting stuffed at the 3-yard line, going for it on 4th. It's like, dude, you guys are trash.
Tell me that's at least a 28-point spread.
24.
24, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Easily. Alabama easily covers that.
I'll take the Arizona game at 10.
Okay. Just forget you said that.
Don't act like we haven't made these types of deals before.
13.5 is already like low enough where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to give you more points.
12.
No. I don't even know if you offered me the actual spread, if I would have taken it.
Okay. Well, pray about it. Get back to me.
I'm going to go get Braxton's punishment.
Fuck that.
So, Braxton.
What?
This week's loser. And
yeah, you got obliterated. We had very good percentages.
Yeah, like we were talking about the punishment, I think, like on Saturday. No, not on Saturday, but on Sunday, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was out of it.
Sorry about that.
So what?
T's and P's. So anyways, one thing that I know you like is a show. I think it's online. I think it's on TV as well. And we've had these types of punishments before when it comes to hot ones, right? And I went to Shake Shack this past weekend. There's now one in Oregon, in Beaverton, and they have a Hot Ones collaboration. And they have like a little Shack sauce that's hot as well, and it's considerably hot. But I have also went ahead and added one or two of the Hot Ones sauces to this Hot Ones Shack sauce for you to indulge in for the...
Can I have a beer?
Sure. Yeah, go get a beer.
Okay.
I'm not going to get you one.
I mean, open one of these Boneyards.
They're warm.
Not really. Let me see. Is it all like...
I've mixed it in.
It actually smells good.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes pretty good. It's just that it's going to be miserable for him.
You know what you should have added? It's the chili that I like.
I was thinking about that.
Extra spicy.
You want to go get it? We'll add it. Why not?
No, just let him suffer this, whatever.
Okay, so we have a piece of chicken that I have saved from this evening's dinner.
Oh, he gets to have chicken with it?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's got to go do a nice big scoop of it. All right. Do I get to scoop it, or
Sure,
you
No,
want
to scoop
hey,
it.
cover that shit. Cover it. Be the over dipper. Be the over
Like that?
That is not enough. Be the over dipper. Have it be dripping.
Like that?
Scoop it. Don't dip it.
Here we go. The teeth have come out.
No, they're still in.
Okay. All right.
It smells.
bad.
It
Smells
smells
good.
good.
It smells spicy, though. It smells very spicy. Okay.
Take that whole big bite, and we'll see how it goes for you.
It's a little bit tougher to get him with hot sauce because he likes
It's already
it.
happening. It's already happening.
Is it really that hot?
It is quite good.
It might be delicious, but it's going to hurt him.
Yeah, it's coming on fast.
And he's wearing a sweatshirt as well inside.
You're going to be damp.
I would have already been hiccuping at this point.
Ooh, fuck me.
You got to let it sit for 5 minutes before you drink.
Just.
I'll go as long as I can.
Describe what you're feeling right now to the audience.
Yeah, it's a full mouth feel.
It's not like one particular part.
No, it's definitely focused. I would say more on the sides and the tip of the tongue, which I guess makes sense. I think that's where.
Okay, we'll let you have a sip of the beer once you touch your eyes.
Now he's crying a little bit.
I think that's where the heat receptors are on the tongue. But I'm not positive. But I would assume so with the way I'm feeling right now.
And for those who are not watching on YouTube, Braxton is wearing sweatpants, a sweatshirt, and a hat. So there's a lot of insulation happening with his body right now as he experiences it. I now see some tears coming from his eyes. The first cough has now happened.
Ooh, yeah.
It didn't smell that spicy. It actually smelled really good.
No, it did, and I'm sure it tasted good. I've just now added a number of things into it.
Yeah, there's definitely some Mad Dog in there.
Yeah. And the second one, which is the deadly one.
What was the deadly one?
The bomb. I've never seen this type of reaction before from Braxton before.
How much da bomb did you put in there?
I would say not a lot.
16 ounces.
No, not a lot. The shack sauce already was pretty warm, but you feeling?
Yeah, it almost has a similar head feel to mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna vomit?
No.
You're hallucinating.
No, I'm not hallucinating. Any other questions?
No. Let's
But this
see.
is the part of Hot Ones where you get to ask questions because then,
Yeah.
it's a
What
little
other
bit-
good questions do we have for him?
Ask him if he really likes you.
Yeah. Hey, Braxton.
What's up?
Hey, Braxton.
Braxton, do we have to go to Boston? I wish I had more riveting questions for him.
How often do you shave your pubes?
You know, that's a great question. Recently, my hair has been growing a lot more quickly. All over my body.
This will put some more hair on you.
So I thank you. And I don't know why I thanked you. But
See, he's off his
He's
off his shit right now.
Totally off the game, man.
yeah, man, this is intense. I definitely get. It definitely makes you feel like you're kind of on something. Like I feel. Yeah, I don't know, like
Quite phlegmy.
Yeah, phlegmy indeed. But like my head, it almost feels like I've taken some kind of like a low dose of something.
Interesting.
It is very interesting.
A little lightheaded.
But yeah, my point is that I probably should up the frequency
Of your manscaping?
Yeah, and did you?
Say it.
Sorry.
Get it out. Get it out.
Have you guys tried the actual Manscaped?
I don't have
No,
that one.
no.
I just use a wall.
It actually is very nice. I haven't had my scrotum tugged on one time.
Wow.
No nicks, no nothing.
Sounds like we need to get him on the pod.
Yeah, they sponsor every fucking podcast available, so why not ours?
Yep. Do believe that Manscaped is our
It's our target audience.
Or is like Miguel like changing colors behind it? He's emitting colors.
Let's
from
get
the
this
back
guy
of the-
outside.
Yeah.
Let's get some air.
All right.
Oh, clear eyes.
Full heart.
Can't lose.